Are you ready?
Yeah, turn up the heat.
Are you ready?
Is he ready? Oh, yeah, he's ready.
It's go time.
Ready to go beyond the scores and stats.
I love it.
Good.
Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
Welcome to High on Sports.
The whole deal is like some kind of crazy game.
Exclusively on MorningShowCentral.com.
Hello and welcome to High on Sports. I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
And whether you are joining us tonight on one of the many glorious apps here at home on your computer, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your evening. If you are not on one of the many glorious apps, remember to take your smartphone, search for TuneIn Radio. It's free to download. Just install it. Search MSC Radio Network. Hit the little heart, and you'll favorite us, and you can listen wherever you go on your phone and all that and fun stuff. And yeah, TuneIn Radio. And remember, as always, you can call the show toll-free, 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. You can, of course, find us on Twitter at high_on_sports, or use the hashtag HighOnSports. We are also on Facebook, facebook.com/HighOnSports. And go ahead and give that a like. Oh, we're on Twitter as well, by the way. I'm at eRalphieW. He is at Von Erich. And she is
On Facebook.
On the Facebook.
She is on the Facebook. She can be found on MySpace.
I do have one of those.
Do you really? But not
I
on
have
Twitter?
it. Well, I mean, I had MySpace when it first came out. I mean, I haven't. I don't think I have logged into it in probably 3 years. So they've probably just deleted me by now.
I don't know.
But,
You know,
I mean, do they do that?
Justin Timberlake bought MySpace and he made it cool now. You know that? It's cool now. It's all about
Is it?
music. I don't know. Whatever the kids are doing these days.
I don't know.
Either way, I remember, go to the website. It's highonsports.net. It's got the archive of all our past shows. Mark's blog and a bunch of other fun stuff. Again, that is highonsports.net. All right, we got a jam-packed show for you. It is round one. Let's go. All right, let's do this. I don't want to say get this out of the way because I do feel like it's a big issue, but it is everywhere right now. You can't go anywhere without seeing something about the comments recently made by Clippers owner Donald Sterling, not Rod Sterling, as I made the mistake several times today while Googling. I wrote Rod Sterling quite enough that I couldn't remember who Rod Sterling was, and I looked it up, and it's that guy from the Twilight Zone. So I can't speak on whether or not he's a racist, but I don't have anything from him on that. I do have some stuff on Donald Sterling. I listened to the whole 9-minute thing. It's just he sounds like it's hard to describe it. He sounds just desperate or something. He sounds just pathetic as he's talking. I mean, this girlfriend of his, who he has a wife.
Well, they're estranged.
Okay, so he's still technically.
They're probably just married for money purposes.
And now he's got this woman, and there's at one point she's saying something about being mixed, half Mexican, half African American, and he told her no. He said no. You're supposed to be perceived as a delicate white woman or a delicate Latina woman. It's like, what the hell does that mean? And I took just some quotes, some highlights, lowlights, if you will. What I'm gonna read is probably it's offensive. So be warned. This is just me reading a quote from someone else. And there's a big swear near the end, and I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna go all out.
Oh.
So be ready.
Earmuffs, children.
Not that word. That word. He doesn't go that far. But anyway. He's talking about, racism or whatever like that. He says, it's the world. He says, you go to Israel, the blacks are treated like dogs. He goes on to say that there's white Jews and black Jews, and they are treated 100% differently. And the woman says, is that right? And he says, it isn't even a question. He says, we don't evaluate what's right and wrong. We live in a society. We live in a culture. We have to live within that culture. What does that mean?
He's 80 years old. He's probably senile.
But he's just saying, he's basically saying, yeah, people are racist. And she's like, more or less. And he's like, and she's like, well, is that right? And he's like, oh, it doesn't matter. We just, we just go with it. That's just what we do.
Well.
And he goes on to say, here we go. In your lousy fucking Instagrams, you don't have, you don't have to have yourself with walking with black people. And then he goes on to say, this is where Magic Johnson makes his cameo appearance. This one's bad. He says, I've known Magic well, and he should be, because I should explain a little bit if you don't know. This whole argument started when she was posting pictures of her Instagram of her with Magic Johnson. Just like almost like a selfie thing of like, oh my God, look, I saw Magic Johnson. And he was not very pleased with that.
Well, he was probably jealous.
But she's saying
Because
like
he didn't get a selfie.
But she's he even says something about, like, oh, I admire her, or I admire him and stuff like that. And he says like, I admire him too. He says, I've known Magic well and he should be admired. I'm just saying that it's too bad you can't admire him privately. The man in the recording says, he says, admire him, bring him here, feed him, fuck him, but don't put him on Instagram for the world to have you see, so they have to call me, and don't bring him to my games. What kind of messed up world is this when he would rather her bring Magic Johnson to their home and sleep with him?
I got something on this.
Then post pictures of them together on Instagram. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, I got something on this whole thing.
Sure.
Well, think about it for just a second. Okay, yeah, he is a racist. He's blatantly being racist and all this whole thing. But if you listen to the whole entire tape, which I did,
and I did too.
She baits him into
she's
it.
baiting him
Yeah.
in this entire
You're
conversation.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
And by the way that he was talking about Magic, I think he's more pissed off that she was taking pictures with other guys since she's technically his girlfriend than it had to do with him being black or white or anything. He was just being a pissed off, jealous 80-year-old man.
There's just like a lot of instances too on the rest of it where he says, she says something about like, do you want me to delete all the black people off my Instagram or whatever? And he's like, you already told me you would do that once, and clearly you haven't. And like, he just seems to very much have an issue with it. You are absolutely right about the baiting thing, and that's why there is no legal thing to all this. He can't really be sued or anything like that. But the NBA could have. This is where things get complicated. Could use something like this as grounds to take the team from him or something like that. Him being against bad for the NBA's image, stuff like that. He is one owner out of 30, so the other 29 can and actually still could, for whatever reason they want to, be like, nah, get out. But the one problem is being in the state of California, which he is. This is legally, everything on this tape is totally impermissible. You can't, or is that the word? Whatever.
Impermissible.
Impermissible.
Yeah, it's not. You can't use it. You couldn't use it in a court case. Again, not that this is going to any sort of a court case. Although, if the NBA tries to take the team and he tries to fight it, then it probably would go to some sort of court case.
Well, I think she was just trying to use it to make him look bad.
She was certainly egging him on, and she was certainly doing it to look bad, but it worked. I mean, it's the fact of the matter is, that some of the things he said and stuff like that is I mean,
and the people she leaked it to first was TMZ.
She sold it to TMZ, exactly.
Right? She was looking for money, man.
She was trying to get back and stuff like that. No, you're right. And by no means am I saying this woman is a bitch. Let's be cut and dry about it.
Yeah.
The woman's a bitch, but the dude's an asshole. I mean, they're not.
He is a racist.
He is a racist, and like, you're absolutely right about this. That she should, nobody out there should be like, oh, thanks to her for finally showing us the truth or something like that. She is a bitch, and she did bait him, but like I said, it worked. So I mean, there's the fact of like Doc Rivers, like he's saying, he's not even sure he wants to, coach for this guy, and the players all talking like they don't think they want to play for this guy. They did their little protest of they came out and put the warm up jerseys, they took them off and put them at half court and wore their shirts inside out, so there was no like Clipper logo or anything like that as they were in warm-ups and stuff like that. But I mean, honestly, if they really wanted to do something, and I heard a lot of people say this, and honestly, they probably just should have, at least in this game or something, don't play.
Yeah, but see, because not playing isn't really gonna hurt the owner. It's hurting you. You're the one who wants to play and try to win a championship, and you're just not gonna play.
That's true.
And screw your season.
I think that's the one thing.
Silliness.
I think that's the one thing that stopped them from doing that.
And it's just and Mark Jackson, the Warriors coach, is like, fans should boycott the next home game. The tickets have already been bought.
Yeah.
You're not hurting him any. The tickets have already been bought. Yeah, he's going to lose concession sales.
They're in a playoff potential, right?
Come on now.
Well, they're in the playoffs right now. I do think there is something to it being more symbolic than that. Is that if they played in a near empty stadium or arena, I mean, it would show something to the NBA, because the NBA would know, yeah, we already got our money, but this can't keep up. And I mean, and that's ultimately the point if they were doing any sort of protest.
And by the way, if I'm paying $300 for a playoff ticket, I don't care who says what. I'm still going.
Exactly, and that's the
True.
And that's the one thing.
I'm still going.
That's the one thing in defense. In defense, is I look at it from our perspective. If this happened to us, if one of our owners did something,
Say
like
whatever
that,
the hell you
and
want, I'm still going.
I would disagree strongly with that owner if he said something like this. But, and I'm just taking the Cavaliers as an example. I love the Cavaliers. If Dan Gilbert had said something, I hate you, Dan Gilbert, but I love the Cavaliers. I'm going to go see the Cavaliers.
All right,
I'm still going.
I'm going to go out on a limb right now. I'm going to say something. Ready? I'm the owner. All right. I hate white people.
Whoa, man.
Well,
Whoa.
well, you suck.
I'd still go, honestly. Like, even if it was an owner of a different.
So you'll be here next week to do your show?
Yeah, I love doing the show.
Yeah?
I mean, yeah, I would. You know, I don't know. It's just
I think the whole thing's been blown out of proportion.
It has, and it's because the Clippers are relevant now. If they still sucked,
that's
nobody
true,
would
but
care.
But at the same time, I fully understand like why any member of the Clippers should doesn't like this. Like, let's be honest with you, the team is a vast majority African American. The coach is black. I mean, and this is a guy saying some pretty racist stuff that you work for. I mean, and the fact of the matter is, let's be honest. Nothing's about black. Nothing's about white. Nothing's about anything but the color green. And sponsors are falling off like flies right now. They lost today. They lost, what was it, Kia? They lost Virgin.
CarMax and State Farm is holding.
Yeah.
They're not, they didn't completely pull out, but they're not fully in. They're like, it's just a tip.
That's what she said.
Exactly. So, I mean, the fact of the matter is that's really all that matters here. Is if people don't want to associate or do business with this guy, then your hands are pretty much tied here. And I think
but
the most
at the
interesting
same
thing I
time-
hear is Magic Johnson talking about if the NBA took the team from him, he would be interested in buying it. I think that would be interesting if this all started because they're posting.
Right? It started with him taking a picture with the old man's girlfriend. Maybe it was just a conspiracy. Hey, let me take a picture with you so they can take his team and then I can buy the Clippers.
So they can prove he's been racist all along.
I mean, come on, he's an 80-year-old old white guy.
Yeah,
come on now.
But still, he doesn't get a free pass. He
but
doesn't.
come on now.
Especially
the culture
not
that we live in now. I remember a certain owner of the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, that old lady.
Yeah,
and she
was
said
terrible.
things that were 10 times worse, and they just chalked it up to her being old, and that's how she was raised. And
But I think one of the things that makes this difference is you're right about our culture being different now. But I think one of the things that makes this so much different is from a sheer number standpoint, the NBA is vastly African American as far as the players go. Yeah. More so than any other race. So when you have an owner coming out, making racist comments and stuff like that, when it's like the whole league is it'd be like in baseball if some owner got recorded saying, bad stuff about like Hispanic people or something like that. Do you really think that would just sort of blow over or something? If some owner, like if some comments of him saying like bad things about, people from the Dominican Republic or something like that?
in this day and age, no, of course not.
No,
but
because everyone's got to be all, oh my God, everybody's racist. No one can say anything bad about anybody.
They get butt hurt too quick.
They do. People need to pull the damn panties out of their ass.
You're right, but in this situation, like this guy, I don't think he's going to be part of the NBA much longer.
I mean, I get it.
And I don't feel
Should
bad for him in the slightest bit.
No, he's a multi-millionaire. He can go spend the rest of his 4 years that he has left blowing coke on a yacht or something. I don't know. He can do whatever he wants. He's 80 years old and he's almost a billionaire. He doesn't even need to own the Clippers. Who cares what
I just
he
think it'd
does?
be funny if he doesn't own the Clippers right when the Clippers are just about to start earning him money. Like, I wonder how much he lost over the
Well,
amount of time
actually,
he owned
no.
the
He'll be
because
busy blowing
he
coke
bought
off
the
a hooker.
team. Whenever he hired many years ago, he only bought the team for like $12 million. Whenever he bought it, and now it's worth like it's worth over $500 million now. So
Yeah.
the dude's made, even when they were losing, he was still making money off of them.
I think the biggest. By the way, the NBA will be announcing the results of its investigation tomorrow.
What's there to investigate?
The investigation was as to whether or not that was him. that they're going to come out tomorrow and say yes, but that's all they're going to say tomorrow. So it's really a waste of everyone's time.
Well, it was her with a freaking cell phone or a recorder recording the whole damn thing.
Exactly. Like it was. I mean, it's him. We know it was him.
I just like the
But
part.
for legal purposes, everything has to be like the man,
Right.
alleged to be Donald Sterling.
Right.
As soon as they released it, he was guilty. Whether it was him or not, he was guilty.
I like how he said something about or get rid of the color or something like that. What do you want me to do? Go pull the color off me or something?
Yeah, she was talking about
what the hell?
getting surgery or
Honestly,
something.
Right,
the dude
right.
was probably
Michael
drunk
Jackson
and just
surgery?
mumbling a bunch of shit.
I don't know.
Maybe he was on Ambien or something. Who knows?
Right?
What is Von Erich just sent me an interesting piece of news. Is this what is this? Do you want to explain this, Von Erich?
Well, everyone's got their, comments about the whole situation, and New York Knicks executive and former player Larry Johnson says that they should bring the Negro Leagues back and do an all-black basketball league and not have anyone else involved in it.
So that means what? Chris Johnson doesn't get to play, and half of Blake Griffin?
Oh, but that's not racist? No
What?
white people allowed in basketball?
Okay, Larry Johnson shouldn't own a basketball team then. Oh, wait, he doesn't. What do you want?
Well, he is a New York Knicks executive. He should lose his job at least.
That doesn't
Right?
mean anything.
Yeah, that is
I'm
kind
just
of
saying,
racist, though. What he said.
if Sterling's about to lose his ownership of a team for saying he doesn't like black people, this dude who should lose his job for saying no white people allowed.
I don't know. Either way.
Larry Bird will shoot a 3 in your eyeball. Go suck it, Larry Johnson.
Either way, I mean, he's probably going to lose his team in some capacity, but he's not going to. People are talking about would he be the first owner to ever have his team taken from him? I don't think so, but I think what they'll do is I think the other 29 are going to get together and sort of buy him out. Like they're going to sort of make him buy it out, and then they're going to turn around and sell it. Possibly at this point, probably do Magic Johnson.
I don't think that he's going to get his team taken away from him.
No, I very much do. I very much do.
Why would they? I mean, that no. I don't
Because
think.
his players, none of his players or his
today-
coach want to come back. They're African American and they don't want to play
In
for a
today's
racist.
world, you're not allowed to not
It's-
like other people.
It's not even just a matter of today's world. If his people don't want to come back and play for him, it's over.
Oh,
it's over.
You throw
If
enough
somebody
money at
hates-
somebody, they're going to play for you.
They'll play, they'll figure something out. The NBA has too much on its hands. The NBA can't afford if they're going to do anything to sort of protest, which I do think they would have skipped out on the game if it wasn't the playoffs. But if they're going to do anything like that, like not report to the start of camp or something like that, and if they're all going to sit out, the NBA, its hands are going to be tied on that.
You throw enough money at somebody, they'll play.
Exactly.
They'll play.
And I think they're going to. I think this guy.
Because how many of them are under
contract?
How many of them are under contract? If they don't play, you don't get any money.
Ashley is 100% correct.
That's true, but
Exactly.
listen,
Money fixes everything.
Yep.
Sure it does, but what do you think's going to happen if they all don't go? They're just going to hire some shills or something like that to come in and fill their place. If the team doesn't come in, you think they're going to call them in and say, everybody get a raise?
They're not going to not come in because it means they're not getting a paycheck.
I'm telling you this. There's something is going to happen. This guy, he does not come out of this okay.
And there's going to be
too much in the court of public opinion.
There's going to be a lawsuit too. Once he loses his team, he's going to go sue them.
Oh, I'd sue the piss out of everybody.
Yeah, so.
I mean, yeah, the dude's a racist.
He's going to sue TMZ. He's going to sue the NBA. He's going to sue the girl. He's going to sue everybody.
Yeah, he was like a lawyer before he bought the team. He was like a lawyer, then he went into real estate, and then he bought the Celtics, the Clippers. So he knows things, and he got some money to throw at everybody in the world.
And blow coke off strippers.
And a yacht.
Guy's an asshole, and I can't wait to see him lose.
Well, yeah, the dude's an asshole, but he's probably only has 5 years left to live anyway.
Good, and I hope he dies without being a part of the NBA, because that's what's going to happen. Mark my words. Let's talk other basketball.
Yeah, let's talk playoffs.
By the way, this is a little convenient for my adoptive Golden State Warriors now, as they now tied this series up 2-2. So go Golden State, Golden State University. Atlanta Indy tied back up just barely. David West had to hit a clutch 3-ball at the. I don't think it was at the buzzer, but it was close. Either way, to bring it back. They tied it back up. Who knows what anything happened now. Charlotte, Miami, they're 3. Obviously, Miami is up 3 games to Charlotte with none. So that will probably end tonight as they tip off. And they probably did already, so it's probably over. Brooklyn and Toronto are tied back up. Good for the Raptors. I really want to see the Raptors get a playoff series win. That would be nice. And then the Bulls looked pretty bad against the Wizards yesterday. If you watched it all, Washington, they ultimately ended up winning. They only ended up winning by like 10 or something, like 10 or 11. But at one point, I mean, it was pretty bad. It was like 15 or something to nothing to start the game. It was pretty embarrassing. But Washington is up on that series 3-1. This one is shocking. Dallas is leading San Antonio 2-1 right now. Vince Carter, Vinsanity himself, hit a buzzer beater to win game. I think that was game 2
San
of
Antonio.
it. San Antonio is down 1-2. Memphis, Oklahoma City. That's another one. It's 2-2. What the hell's going on, Oklahoma City? I thought they were supposed to be better than this, but they're
The
clearly
whole
not.
West is crazy right now.
Absolutely. Portland, Houston has been awesome. I've seen the end of every one of those games so far. It's freaking awesome. 4 games in, Portland is up 3-1. 3 of the 4 have already gone to overtime.
Yeah.
3 out of 4 of the games in the series have already gone to overtime. I've never seen 2 teams this evenly matched before. Every time I turn it on at halftime, they're tied. I mean, just every time. It's absolutely insane. It's an awesome series to watch, honestly. That's it for basketball, though. I want to talk about that. Or no, you know what? I'll bring this up real quick. A rumor going around for the Cavaliers right now. Interesting thing is that they still haven't named David Griffin the GM. He is still the acting GM. So people wonder, does that mean he's going to get the role expanded? And it leaves the door open in a lot of situations. And one of them could potentially be open for former, briefly, Cavaliers coach, but mostly known as, Nuggets and some other teams and stuff, George Karl. George Karl retired not retired, but is out of coaching right now. He is interested in, if the position were to become available, which it's technically not a position on the payroll right now, but being a sort of president of operations like Phil Jackson is in New York, a president of basketball operations for the Cavaliers, a guy over the GM to make some of the basketball decisions. At first I thought, why would you do that? I compared it to the Browns when we had Joe Banner and Mike Lombardi and all that. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Then I thought about it, and I thought that I realized something, why this would be a brilliant move. Have him come in, make all the decisions, basketball related and everything like that, because it dawned on me, and this is a sad thought, and I like Dan Gilbert, but what was the good decision that Dan Gilbert made in his history of owning the team? What was the smart move that he did? Because as I think about it, I'm pretty sure there's none. We all love Dan Gilbert because he wrote that letter to, with LeBron and everything like that, and I still do love Dan Gilbert, but honestly, what was the great basketball decision that he's made? Who he brought in? He brought in Chris Grant, who he fired. He brought in Mike Brown, fired Mike Brown, brought back in Mike Brown, and still hasn't refired him. And we're waiting. I mean, it's just every person that he has brought in has been wrong. And I mean, and this Mike Brown one more than any of them. He fired him and brought him back 2 years later after he goes and fails with the Lakers. It's not like he went somewhere and was successful or something and somehow you landed him back. He went somewhere else, failed again, and then you brought him back. My point is, if George Karl, or another name thrown out there is Mike Fratello, former Cavaliers coach, if there's someone out there that you can get in it that's a smart guy, I mean, don't just fill the position to fill the position, but if there's someone out there that has a high basketball IQ that you can get to be in a team president role, I think there's no question that they need to pull the trigger on that one. And I think George Karl would be a great guy for the position. The Cavaliers are not speaking with him at this moment about anything, but that is subject to change. I just think it's weird that they still have David Griffin as the acting GM. They haven't announced that they're going in a different direction or if they're going to bring him in or what they're going to do. But anyways, let's switch gears here. We're going to talk some baseball. This story I love, and I don't know how you feel about it, Von Erich, but we talked last week about Michael Pineda having a substance apparently on his hand, potentially, believed to be pine tar. They weren't able to do anything about it and everything like that. And Major League Baseball, wasn't going to do anything about it. They're like, yeah, no punishment and stuff like that. Well, then he got stupid. Comes out in the first inning against the Red Sox again. Kind of pitched like crap. Got through the inning, obviously.
Had no control.
No control. Comes back in. All of a sudden, the dude's throwing darts. I mean, he's just, he's on it. Plus, there's a giant glob of pine tar on his neck and side of his face.
You could see it from the top row of the stands.
It was stupid.
blatantly obvious.
And John Farrell, I saw him come out there. John Farrell, the manager of the Red Sox, just with a sigh, like, I can't even believe I have to do this. Like, I can't even believe I have to go tell.
Right.
Like, it's embarrassing how blatant
Yeah.
he was about it. He had to go to the umpire and be like, hey, guys, look, I mean, you see it.
Really?
Really?
Right?
Come on. Come on.
Now, regardless if he put it on himself or one of the coaches or teammates put it on, you can't just be obvious about it and, here, let's
rub this all over your neck.
And then, in a dark dugout, ask the guy next to you, like, hey, can you see this? Oh, no, I don't see nothing. And then once you're out and the lights are on you, and
Look, it's everywhere.
the cameras are zooming in, you can tell that it's, a different color than your skin color.
They show, like, the umpire go over and, like, have to touch his neck and stuff like that.
And he's like,
And he just looks at it, he's like, pine tar, get out. And then afterwards he said, I thought it was funny, though, because then they take him into the little hall, and they're talking to him and stuff, and he's trying to explain himself. And and they got a camera on him in the dugout, and Joe Girardi just comes over, and you just see Joe Girardi's face on the camera, and the camera just turned. Like, Joe Girardi just came over and grabbed it and turned it, like the little robot camera they had there or whatever, just turns
That's
it away.
funny.
He came out, to his credit, he came out right afterwards and pretty much admitted to everything. I mean, well you couldn't
lie about, like, you busted.
You could. The thing about baseball is what I would expect him to do is deny.
Yeah.
I don't know how that got me.
Right? How did that happen?
I don't know.
It
Somebody
rained
must have-
from the dugout.
They must have actually rubbed it on my neck while they were injecting the steroids against my will. Like,
Right? I was tied down. They put it on me.
Exactly. He did come on and he said, he said he uses it for more control over his pitches and stuff like that, which is, sure. But now everybody's talking. All of a sudden there's this sort of discussion being had about should pine tar be legalized. And some people even going as far
God.
to say it's safer for the batter because if the pitcher has more control, there's less of a chance he's going to hit him. Yeah, but there's a better chance he's going to throw perfect strikes or better curveballs or whatever he wants.
It's because he's a Yankee.
Exactly.
Yankees don't. New York Yankees don't cheat. We should be able to do this. Just like when Tom Brady's bitch ass blew out his knee. Oh, he's from New England. No, we can't tackle quarterbacks below the waist anymore because
from New York.
I'm saying all these, like the Yankees, Boston, New England Patriots. It's all the same. One of their people do something, it's okay, or you got to make it legal or illegal or whatever.
Because they're the national team, isn't it?
But a lot of New Yorkers.
Shit. Screw you, New York.
But no, a lot of New Yorkers are not even claiming him as a Yankee either.
Good. We need to make it legal.
I would be a Mets fan.
Our sponsor over at Hanini Subs, I walked in there and he said, nope, he's not a Yankee. Don't even talk about him.
Pineda?
Yeah.
That's funny. Now, the Yankees, I mean, let's be honest here, people. They're not what they used to be. They're not this big legacy and stuff like that. What happens when Derek Jeter's gone?
They're done.
When Derek Jeter's gone, who are you throwing out there? Ivan Nova? I mean, look at your team. You got your new de facto veteran leader is not playing this year because of all the steroids he's injected into his body and A-Rod. I mean, there's what's left? I mean, there's CeCe and his bloated contract and not bloated stomach, and
he lost a bunch of weight and he lost his
I
fastball with
watched
it.
his game the other day. He looks like he put a few pounds back on.
oh, good, fine.
He stopped doing the crack.
No, he needs to because that's where his fastball came from. He
Exactly.
put all 290 pounds into it. Now he has no weight on it and he just can't throw it hard anymore.
Right. I mean, and like even look at this. Well, they got Jacoby Ellsbury. It's exciting. They got Mark Teixeira, and how long has he got left on this earth? I mean,
Right?
It seems like every other week he's put on the 15-day disabled list. I mean, it's sorry Yankees. I don't know how to break this to you, but you're gonna.
There's more scandal. There's more scandals in the Yankees organization than anything.
Oh yeah, I mean anywhere else. Really. I mean they get that problem. It's what happens when you play like the Yankees do, when you build like the Yankees do, which is just throw money at your problem until it goes away. I mean, people always want they complain that the Indians don't spend too much and stuff like that, but you basically get good character guys. Sometimes all they have is good character. Nick Swisher,
Not
for
a
example.
lick of talent, but
Can't hit a ball.
they're a really
crap,
nice dude, man.
But it's a great locker room.
It's a-
It's so exciting. We got unfinished business.
yeah, man.
This locker
Brohio,
room,
dude.
This is the best locker room I've ever been in.
Yeah.
We hug like all the time.
and
We hold
fist
hands
bump.
and sing Kumbaya all losses.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, you're going to find out what's urinating us off. We got another mock draft. We're only 10 days away. 3 up, 3 down, and so much more. Listen to High on Sports on the MSC Radio Network.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. User friendly and ready to serve. MorningShowCentral.com.
This is President Barack Obama, and you're listening to MSC Radio Network.
Oh, wow. Language.
Okay, he was PMSing. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com. With hundreds of live weather products and layers and thousands of combinations, Weather Studio provides a professional graphics and store monitoring solution without complex user knowledge and without the industry standard price tag of $1,000 plus broadcast systems. Weather Studio displays a plethora of critical atmospheric and geophysical data on an interactive GIS-enabled computer map. Get your free 14-day trial of Weather Studio at their website, weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. That's weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. Oh, great. Not another farm bill request. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Morning Show Central. Denying one farm bill request at a time. Lakewood Computer, located at 14035 Madison Avenue in Lakewood, has it all. If you're in need of computer repairs or want to cut the cost of ink cartridges and printing supplies, count on Lakewood Computer in Lakewood, Ohio to provide it all. For the past 5 years, Lakewood Computer has been providing you with a huge assortment of computer equipment and services at very competitive prices. Lakewood Computer purchases and sells pre-owned desktops, laptops, and related equipment, and they offer outstanding prices on aftermarket printing supplies, including toner cartridges and ink cartridges. With 29 years of professional experience, Lakewood Computer is highly confident in their ability to enhance your overall computing experience. Check them out online at joeslakewoodcomputer.com. That's joeslakewoodcomputer.com. Or give them a call toll-free, 855-580-0768. That's 855-580-0768. Call the show toll-free, 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on MorningShowCentral.com.
Yo, it's Woody. Now, I know a thing or two about women, and I want to help all the ladies out there take care of their men. Happy Endings Orgasmically Organic Massage Oil. Yeah, I said orgasmically organic, made right here in Cleveland. Now, no other product delivers this level of purity and performance. It's guaranteed to improve your overall experience and keeps that sensitive skin soft and smooth. Guys, don't be a tool. You're doing it anyway. Might as well do it right. Get your happy ending at happyendingsoil.com. That's happyendingsoil.com.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast fast network, and huge bandwidth limits. A 99.5% uptime guarantee and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now.
MSC Radio Network has just tweeted the following. This bowel movement won't come out. Check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/MSC Radio Network.
Hello, I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
and this is High on Sports. Remember, if you can listen to us from your phone, from your mobile phone, as I was just on my phone, just download the TuneIn Radio app. It's free to download. Just search MSC Radio Network. Hit play, and you're listening to us live on the go from your phone. Call the show toll-free, 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral, .com. Facebook.com/High on Sports is the Facebook page, and we are on Twitter at High_on_sports. I am at eRalphieW. He is at Von Erich. I will soon be live tweeting the draft, and he will live tweet every minute of playoff hockey left, right?
I already have been doing that.
Non-stop. I had to block him from my feed. I got too much. Yes, that's the Twitter. So yeah, the website's highonsports.net. I'm so all over the place right now.
I think that means round 2.
Highonsports.net. It's got a blog. It's got an archive. It's got fun stuff. Round 2. You heard the bell. Let's do this. All right, it's time for a staple of High on Sports, and that is, of course, what's urinating us off. We're gonna start as we always do with my good buddy Von Erich. Von Erich, what's urinating you off?
If you live in the Cleveland area, I'm sure you've seen the commercials on TV about voting yes on issue 7, voting no on issue 7. What it is a 20-year renewal of a sin tax that we voted in right before they built the Gateway Project, which turned out to be Gund Arena and Jacobs Field, and then later on the new Cleveland Browns Stadium once they came back to town.
First Energy.
Now, the problem with this tax is it's only the people of Cuyahoga County are getting taxed, even though more than half of the people who go to these sporting events come from outside the county. All these profits that these teams are getting from the naming rights. They just sold Brown Stadium to First Energy. How come they can't use any of that money for a little building repair? And basically what this is doing is making the lower class pay for the buildings when they are making plenty of profits to take care of this themselves.
I will say this, so I will play devil's advocate to you just on this basis. Again, like I've said before, I'm not going to tell you no on issue 7, yes on issue 7, whatever that. But the only thing is because you brought up
you don't live in Cuyahoga County, so we're going to say that
that's what I'm saying.
Vote no on issue 7.
Anyways, that the whole thing about the naming rights, that is, I mean, yes, they did get quite a big sum of money for that and everything like that. But the thing about the sin tax is what that would be going towards is the fact that as part of the lease agreements and stuff like that with the all the stadiums and arenas and stuff like that, the city is supposed to put up X amount of dollars. Like that's or however long it is and however often, whatever, the city is supposed to put up X amount. And that's what that's why the city wants you to pay sin tax, is to go towards their amount that they have to give. So the city, basically has to give that regardless. So, I mean, again, that's not saying anything positive about, issue 7. I'm just saying that's the only difference about the whole thing with the selling the naming rights is this is just more money, for the Browns and stuff like that. But the city agrees to X amount of dollars. So the city just is trying to get you to pay for it by buying
Yeah,
cigarettes and alcohol and whatever. But
And I don't appreciate their strong arm mob like tactics. Like, oh, if you don't pass this bill, we're going to have to get rid of some firefighters and get rid of some police, and we won't be able to fix the roads. And that's mob type stuff.
Yeah, I
Kill
mean,
the
that's-
Irishman, Denny Green type stuff. The mob is alive and well here in Cleveland. They're your elected politicians.
I mean, that's not. I doubt that. I mean, like again, like you're saying, that's just. I mean, that's that's them trying to strong arm and stuff like that. I doubt that would be the thing they'd get rid of. I mean, honestly, because how can you do that and then expect to be reelected? Let's be honest with politicians. It's not worrying about making you happy. It's just how am I?
No,
going
it doesn't matter.
How am I going to continue to be in office?
They get arrested for corruption. They're in jail and they still get reelected.
Sure, they do. Yep. That's. Well, let's just overthrow this thing. We'll keep sports. Sports stay. But let's just overthrow the rest of it.
And it's not just the beer and cigarettes, too. There's also a sin tax on parking, on concert admissions. There's a bed tax if you stay in a hotel.
No
Part
wonder
of
the
that
damn
goes
Cleveland
to it.
meter people are
video
such
game
Nazis.
rental car tax, and
That's a
also
sin?
property tax if you own property in Cuyahoga County.
Well, owning property is a sin. Open a Bible, Von Erich. No, you're absolutely right. That's just all this is it's the government trying to. I mean, they promised to give money to towards these arenas or whatever, and now they're trying to get you to give more money to them so that they can, pay it off. But it's just. I've also heard something that Cleveland, we as a city have more sort of landlordship or ownership or whatever over our arenas than almost any other city. And like ours is almost like it is basically completely like
that is true, but it really doesn't mean anything because the owners have to sign a so many year agreement with the city anyways,
exactly.
Whether we own the stadium or not, or they buy it themselves.
Exactly. No, right. I'm just saying it's just a weird fact I heard the other day.
And another thing they've been saying, I had to bring this up, that if for some reason it doesn't pass, they're thinking of instituting a $3 to $5 facility fee per ticket for sporting events since we didn't pass that. So they're going to get you regardless.
Yeah, they're going to get their money.
It's stupid. I really think
even if it does pass, that doesn't mean people are going to stop buying cigarettes and stop buying beer. Well, the tax is already on there anyways. It's not going up. It'll just.
I'd rather see the $3 to $5 increase and then the sin tax crap.
That's a fair point because the only thing about that is that it is
it's the people who's actually using the facility.
Right. Now, again, and I'm just playing devil's advocate on all of this.
Then it wouldn't matter if it was in Cuyahoga County because you got people coming from everywhere.
The only reason people argue against, people pitch in regardless of whether or not you're a fan or you go or something like that, is people claim, like, and they say it's a lot of ads and stuff like that. And again, just playing devil's advocate here, but they claim that that facility being here opens up tons of jobs and stuff like that to the people of the city, and so it's like it's a situation where it's like, yeah, you may not go to games, but it's somehow even through the transitive property would affect the city's economy and stuff like that, and whatever. Well, then again, not saying that's my point of view, but
it will affect everybody now if they do the 3 to 5 thing. The increase in
exactly
in
that's the one that at least from the outside looking in makes the most amount of sense.
Right, they should
exactly. Like, you're
Cleveland to get their money and the Browns to get their money.
Exactly. I mean,
as of right now, that one looks like a last-ditch effort, as the only way they could possibly get their money when all other means ended up nowhere.
I think the thing that makes like the most sense to me is if they continue the syntax and stuff like that is honestly, like you said, is expanded. I think it should be expanded to neighboring counties or something, but then it gets confusing because then it's like, well, how far do you go?
Well, if Live Nation can charge you like all these fees for these tickets when you buy them online,
they charge a fee for everything.
Right?
When you buy
then the Browns
tickets.
can do the same thing with the stadium.
My favorite thing is like when it says like anonymous or like stuff like that.
It's
where
like
it's
a
just
convenience charge,
anonymous fees,
ticket printing charge,
right?
Mailing charge,
ticket
charge for everything.
Ticket printing charges is coming off my printer, you dick.
It's just funny because we're like, oh yeah, tickets are only $59.99. By the time you're done paying all the freaking fees, it's like $110. Well, thanks a lot, Live Nation.
Yeah, I think that's what we can take away from all this. Live Nation assholes. All right, well, thank you, Von Erich. That is an inspiring rally cry to the people. Let's rise up like Paul Revere did.
Well, we won't be because we don't live in Cuyahoga County.
Yeah, well, I don't live here, so you can do what you want. But
Well,
well,
do what you want,
weird.
folks.
It's like in this
Gee,
whole
thanks.
Say.
No, it's weird. Like the whole situation, it
Dick.
makes me think of I think the most interesting situation, in all this sort of stadium and city and something like that, it makes me think of the Atlanta Braves and how weird it is that they're moving out of the metro and into the, more. I don't know if I want to say rural. I mean, it is Georgia, so probably rural. But you know what I mean. They're moving out like to put it in perspective here, it would be like
If the,
them moving out of
Browns
Cleveland
Stadium
and
moved
moving
to
into
Berea.
like Berea, yeah. Like something like that, But that was because they did a lot of studies and realized that most of their fan base was coming from, where did they move to? Something county? I don't know. Cobb County, I think, or something like
Yeah,
that.
where the big boss man's from. Cobb County, Georgia.
Not to be confused with where Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead is from. That's King County, and it doesn't exist. But anyways, they did all those studies and realized that they should move to this other area because, the fans and stuff like that. But it just gets such a weird thinking behind it because, like you imagine here, could Berea support a team and stuff like that? It just seems weird to think that, but. That's what they did. But anyways, thank you, Von Erich, as always. And now I'm going to share one that's really, really bothering me here. I do not like this. I do not like this one bit. First of all, I've never been a fan of the X Games. Let me start with that. Never. It's just somebody gets on a skateboard and they got the big monster logo on them and the straight brimmed hat and just...
I mean, I'll
just
watch
do
it.
something real. I'm sorry. But they come out there and they go on a little ramp on a skateboard and it's like, oh, that's great. That's nice. Why don't you go put on some real pants and do something real? But that's not the point.
Hey man, if I was getting paid what they were paid, I'd jump on a skateboard and do a bunch of flips and shit. I'd probably die
Right.
because
I just think the whole thing's stupid. I mean, skateboard all you want, but I just don't think it should be this. Doesn't it go against what skateboarding is supposed to be, by the way? Isn't it supposed to be rebellious or something like that?
Yeah, it's no longer
Be like, man, I don't
rebellious.
care. I'm a skateboarder. Woo! Like now you're like, oh man, I love Mountain Dew. Like
that's really it.
Like
Just turned
record a
into one
commercial for it or
giant
something.
Mountain Dew and Red Bull sponsorship.
Exactly. A Mountain Dew and Red Bull combined, by the way, would probably kill you. So no.
Yeah, please don't drink them together.
No one ever do that. That's how you make like biological weapons. Anyways,
For super babies.
So my problem is that the X Games is taking this one step forward, and we even talked about talking about flipping the snowmobiles. Stop flipping a snowmobile! That's ridiculous. The one of them just died.
That was a year ago.
It's a big thing. It's like, oh, let's flip a boat. Nobody's gonna do that.
That would be awesome.
Because it's dumb. Anyways,
Take a boat off a ramp.
either way, I don't even know how you logistically flip a boat.
I don't think that'd be
But-
possible.
My point is, they've added something to the X Games that I am
This is the
not
most
a fan
asinine
of.
thing I've ever read in
Something
my
you
life.
will actually win a medal for playing. They are now going to be incorporating Major League Gaming in X Games Austin because that's how they do it now. They do it like 4 X Games a year in different cities. Just they will be doing the video game Call of Duty Ghost, and there will be a large tournament as part of the X Game event. They will now be included along such historic events as skateboarding, like we said, and snowboarding. I don't know if they'll snowboard.
Snowboarding's in the winter X
I can't
Games.
name very many X Games events.
There's the skateboard stuff
Rally
and
car,
the BMX bikes,
BMX bikes,
the dirt bikes.
Is
dirt
rollerblading
bikes.
still a thing?
Rollerblading?
I don't
Sure.
think that
sure,
exists.
Why not?
I don't think rollerblading exists.
Roller
Did they just go
skating?
back
The
to
only
old
time
skates?
rollerblading existed is in that Disney movie in like 2000 called Brink.
Sledding?
That would
That's
be fun.
not true. That's not true. He rollerbladed in the Goofy movie, in the second one.
I think that came before that movie.
Extremely
Brink.
goofy movie where they went to the X Games. But, so you feel dumb now?
No, because I'm pretty sure that came out before Brink.
I don't care.
So I'm still right.
All right, so Major League Gaming is now a part of the X Games. They will be playing Call of Duty Ghost. They will be
What?
sitting down on their stupid asses and playing Call of Duty, playing on a child's game. It's a simulation. It's a simulation. I was talking to the intern Mark, and Mark was telling me earlier, he's like, would I rather watch a football game or would I rather watch someone play a football game simulation?
Right?
You
Yeah.
know, and it's just absolutely
No, I'm not going to sit down and watch someone play a video game.
And you know what?
I'm going to play the video game myself.
And you know what? I wouldn't normally take this route, and I'm kind of not taking this route, but food for thought. I'm just saying, High on Sports is obviously a proud supporter and proud friend to all our soldiers overseas, and extremely thankful for what they do for us each and every day.
My brother's a Marine.
My brother-in-law is...
Your brother's... Yeah.
My brother-in-law is from the Army. He's done like 3 tours, but in like Iraq or whatever. But I mean, isn't it a little silly that you're like playing a game of that?
No, see...
I'm saying like playing a game of that on TV and like winning a thing for... And like doing a whole thing of it. I don't know, it just...
It makes no sense that it's in the X Games.
Exactly.
Major League
I'm not
Gaming
saying
or whatever,
against the games
which
itself.
is professional gaming, it needs to just be kept in its own thing. Why it's in the X Games, which is like extreme sports, which is why it's called the X Games. I'm not really sure why they put video games in it.
I think they should
because it takes no athletic ability to sit down. It takes some pretty decent hand-eye coordination, I'm not going to lie.
Sure.
But it takes absolutely zero athletic ability to play video games. I've been playing video games since the Super Nintendo came out.
And well, why is it
when I was 3.
Where's Pong? Where's some Atari
Right?
stuff? They just found the landfill. By the way, I'm surprised the video game show is not here talking about this, but they oh right. But no, hold on, I didn't mean anything like that. No, I mean I forgot. That was not a zing. No, I forgot that the video game show was not today.
That they were.
It was not a zing. They're our brother and our friend. But
yeah, when they should.
No. But they found a landfill. But quick history lesson for everybody: E.T. came out. The movie was super popular. They made an Atari game for it. Right? It was like they thought it was going to be one of the most popular games of all time.
And it was the worst game ever created.
They made tons of copies of this. Nobody bought it because it sucked ass. It was terrible. Nobody bought it. So the rumor was, a little urban legend myth thing, if you will, was that they buried it all somewhere in the middle of the desert. Buried all the copies.
3.5 million copies.
Yeah. And what did they find this week? Buried in New Mexico, decades later, a landfill full of copies of E.T. for the Atari.
Some of them still in pristine
True
condition.
story.
Hey.
Exactly. Why aren't they playing that at the Olympics or whatever?
Right.
Shouldn't this be at the winter
E.T.
one? By the way, shouldn't the video games be in a winter one because you're not going to go outside? Those people don't go outside. They
Right?
just stay in all the
Gamers
time.
don't go outside, so it'd make more sense to be in the winter where you could stay warm.
I just think, and you brought this up, and I think it's... this is so not sports related at this point, but I think it's one of the same reasons that video game movies never work out, and there's never been a good one, almost ever.
Hitman was okay.
Whatever.
Other than that, no.
We're not going to discuss that. But the fact of the matter is, though, it's like, why would I want to watch someone else do it when I can just do it myself? And now the argument against it is someone say, well, why would I want to watch someone play football when I can just do it myself? Because I can't.
You can't.
There's too much to it. You need 22 people, to
You gotta
form
find
a
a
team.
field.
You got to find a field somewhere.
gotta
There's
get
so much to it.
jerseys.
Yeah, you got to get jerseys so you know who you're playing with. And by the way, when you break your leg, you don't make the kind of salary that an NFL player makes to be able to go to the hospital.
And by the way, when you play football and you break your leg, you break it for real. You can't find a health pack.
Yeah.
You can't.
This is in video games. Okay.
You can't find a power up and suddenly your leg is now healed and you can fly or something.
You're going to the hospital.
This is like
and
a real
hopefully you
thing.
have insurance because that's going to cost you.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
What's
no.
the worst thing you hear? Sprained thumb.
It's the same with baseball. You're going to go find a baseball field and all the equipment and 18 people. The easiest thing is basketball, but
And even basketball, I think that's the most likely thing that I would just go do. 'Cause I do.
that's a
There's
lot of
basketball hoop
running.
near my house. There's, you're just playing, Well, when you all suck, you just kind of throw it up and just kind of do whatever.
That's true. See, video games, you just sit on your ass and move your hands.
Exactly.
Like, I love video games, but it's not a sport.
And
I don't understand why it's in the X Games.
I worry about
Shouldn't
the
they only be
concussions they'll
playing
get.
Connect games? So they
At
have to
least
actually
that's
Right?
the thing.
connect
If it was
At
like
least that
Connect or
requires
the Wii,
movement.
I could see that because then
Wii
you're actually
bowling.
doing something.
I like video games. I like video games. I want that,
so do I.
I want that to be out there. Sure. I just don't think they should be mixing here. This
No.
is not an environment
It's
for
not
them.
a
They
sport.
don't belong here. The door has been open for too long. This started when ESPN started playing World Series of Poker.
Right?
You happy, ESPN? Look what you've
Why
done.
am I going to sit down and watch someone play poker on my TV? Makes absolutely no sense.
Why stop here? Why can't I watch Major League Sudoku?
Right?
Why can't I watch someone write the numbers into a box?
No, you really got that one fast.
Yeah. Oh, look how instantly he put the 9. But is it correct? We'll have to wait till he moves out of the other box to find out.
That's pretty good.
Born to be a broadcaster, even with Sudoku. I mean, where does it stop? Where does it stop, people?
Play-by-play announcer.
Jesus Christ.
We now
That's
return to
terrible.
solitaire on the X Games.
Oh my God. I mean, at least if they could have made it a sport game, they could have made it Madden.
We return to competitive
But-
charades.
I mean,
Yeah, I can do
this
that.
is silly. What they should have done is just taken the Call of Duty name, like Von Erich said, are they playing paintball? Just Call of Duty paintball.
I got a solution
Real
for
Call
you.
of Duty.
Cancel
Not
the
real.
X Games. Done. Got a problem? Why don't you tweet at us or call the show next week? 3 up, 3 down time. Down number 3, Bryce Harper, Nationals left fielder, placed on the disabled list with an injured thumb. Announced today, though, that he's going to receive surgery and will not be back until early July. Damn. Down number 2, Michael
sucks.
Pineda, suspended 10 games for Pine Tar
idiot.
for being a goddamn idiot. Speaking of idiots, Donald Sterling is my number 1 down this week, and that's
For
enough.
being an old racist senile bastard.
Up time, let's leave on a positive note. Up number 3, a tie. Vince Young and Tyler Thigpen, both in Berea today, trying out to be a member of the Cleveland Browns. They might be coming back to football. Good for
God,
them.
no.
Up number 2, Teddy Bridgewater.
Why is that an up?
Up for them. They are up. I mean, not us, but them. Teddy Bridgewater is up this week because he has opened up a loss of value insurance policy that will earn him hundreds of thousands of dollars for every spot he falls after pick 11, and reportedly would offer him $5 million for being a second-round pick. He's taken out an insurance
How much
policy
did
on
he have
himself.
to pay for that?
It was just under $20,000 when he started.
If I were him.
Exactly. That's why his pro day sucked. I still think Teddy Bridgewater could end up being the best quarterback in this draft. More on that next week. This week, though, number 1 up, ALS Research. Saints owner Tom Benson donated $5 million, or roughly what Bridgewater would make as a second-round pick, to former player Steve Gleason towards research towards
nice.
his debilitating disease, ALCS.
That's nice.
Good story. Good heartwarming story to end on. I like
Yeah.
that. Next week's our draft special, and I'm going to unveil my mock draft. I'm going to mock the whole first round, and then we'll mock my picks and laugh at them and point and stuff like that. So for Chris, for
Silly
Von
Ralphie.
Erich, for Ashley, I'm Ralphie saying good night, everybody. We will see you next week, same time, same place. Thanks for tuning in to High on Sports on MorningShowCentral.com.